It started with the water. 10:43 p.m., Thursday night. You stood in the shower, the pressure slightly too strong, the temperature just shy of scalding, exactly how you liked it. You weren't really present, not really. The noise of your podcast filled your ears, some droning narration about the history of coinage or whatever. You weren't listening. Then it cut out. Not the phone, not the app, the sound. And underneath that sudden silence, beneath the slap of water on porcelain, behind the curling hiss of steam, you heard it. A voice, not screaming, not at first, just muffled, sharp, wet, too far to be inside your apartment, too close to be anywhere else. You froze. The breath you'd just taken got caught in your throat. Your hands, mid-lather, hung suspended near your temples. Your body became a question mark. The world outside the curtain, silent. You waited. Nothing. A few seconds later, the podcast resumed like someone had unmuted reality. The voice was gone. But something inside you wasn't ready to let it go. You shook it off. Told yourself it was nothing. Pipes, maybe. Water hammer. Or that weird echo effect from old apartment buildings with thin walls and thinner boundaries. You even laughed just to make it feel stupid. But you didn't forget. You didn't tell anyone. And the next night, it came back. You turned the water on extra hot, like maybe you were trying to boil the air into forgetting. Steam rolled up over your head, turning the small bathroom into a dreamscape, edges blurred, reality softened. Then it came. This time it was a scream. It was her voice, your mom's. Panicked, desperate, dragged. She was calling your name, your full name, the one she only used when something was very wrong. And just like that, your body flinched. Your hand twitched. Your eyes almost turned. But something stopped you. Not reason, not logic. Instinct. A deep animal recognition. The kind that keeps prey frozen in the brush when it knows a predator is near. The kind of stillness that gets passed down through blood. Don't turn. You stood there, the voice cracking behind you, pulling further away, echoing through a hallway that didn't exist. Your jaw clenched. Your breath caught again. But you didn't move. And eventually the voice stopped. By Saturday morning, the hallway light outside your bathroom began flickering, but only when you were in the shower. Your dog, Toby, stopped entering the bathroom altogether. He used to lie on the bath mat while you brushed your teeth. Now he'd sit at the threshold, staring in, ears pinned, growling low. And always, always, his eyes were fixed not on you, but on the mirror. You stopped listening to podcasts while showering. You needed to hear things now. All things. But no matter how silent the room was, the voice returned. Sunday night, it was your brother. Same panic, same dragging cadence, same scream for help. You gripped the slick shower wall like it was the only thing anchoring you to earth. The ceramic tile bit into your palms. Still, you didn't turn. Still, something behind you learned. On Monday, your reflection was late. You noticed it after brushing your teeth. You spat, wiped your mouth, looked up. Nothing. For a split second, the mirror showed the room. The lights, the door behind you, but not your face. Then, like a buffering video, it loaded in. Slowly, off-sync, like an actor stepping into a role they'd been studying for far too long. You stared. It stared back. But it was wrong. Your left eye twitched. It blinked a beat too late. You smiled to test it. The reflection smiled wider. You tilted your head left. It tilted right, then corrected itself. You backed away. The next day, your coworker said you looked strange. Not tired, not sick, just strange. They asked if you were okay. You lied, said you didn't sleep well. You didn't tell them about the dream you had, if it was a dream. You stood in your own bathroom, looking at the back of your own head, watching yourself shower, and then the reflection turned, smiled, and mouthed your name. By Wednesday, you couldn't use hot water anymore. You kept it cold, sharp, to keep the steam down. You didn't care if your skin hurt. You'd take that over fogged glass. But steam didn't matter anymore. Not to it. It had moved on from hiding. Now it was rehearsing. It didn't just scream now. It spoke. Sometimes it sobbed. Other times it told jokes. Bad ones. Ones only you would remember. It had your laugh now, too. Not the public one. The private chuckle you only used when alone. It mimicked the way you cleared your throat, the way your voice cracked after sleep. It was practicing. It was preparing, and you knew if you ever turned to see it, really see it, it would step forward, and you'd never get to be alone again. Thursday, you took the day off work. Not because you were sick, but because the idea of leaving the apartment felt wrong. Like something would shift while you were gone. Like your absence would be used against you. You stayed home, sat on the couch, ate toast, kept the lights on. Every mirror in the apartment was covered now. Blankets, towels, anything opaque. Even the microwave door had a layer of duct tape across the reflective surface. But in the bathroom, the mirror always uncovered itself. You'd leave it draped, only to return later and find the towel folded neatly beside the sink, as if someone had dried their hands with it. You started locking the bathroom door, even when you were alone. You stopped using the shower altogether. Didn't matter. The voice started coming anyway. From the pipes, from the faucet, from behind the cabinet beneath the sink. Sometimes it was your girlfriend again. Sometimes your dad, who'd been dead for years. And sometimes it was just you, saying things you don't remember saying, singing songs you forgot you ever knew. But the worst was when it didn't say anything at all, just stood there. You couldn't see it, but you could feel it. Behind the door, right on the other side, waiting. You started leaving your apartment light on at night. You set up a webcam in the bathroom, streaming to your phone. You told yourself you wouldn't look at it unless you heard something, but curiosity has teeth. At 3:12 a.m., the camera feed turned to static for 3 full minutes. When the image returned, nothing had changed, except the curtain. It had been drawn shut. You always left it open now. You went into the bathroom the next morning, heart pounding. The mirror was uncovered again, and this time, words were written on it, smeared in condensation. You turned. You didn't remember doing it, but your reflection smiled a little too long that day, and your left hand had a cut you couldn't explain. Friday night. You didn't sleep. You sat on the floor outside the bathroom, back to the wall, holding a kitchen knife. Not for defense, because you knew it wouldn't work, not against this, but you held it anyway, like it anchored you to the human world. Toby wouldn't come near you. He just whined, barked at the door. At 4:03 a.m. he ran, full sprint, into the bedroom and under the bed. You followed, eventually, and what you saw made your stomach churn. On the bathroom mirror, almost done. Saturday morning, your phone didn't recognize your face. Face ID failed. 3 times. You had to use your passcode. Your voice sounded different on voicemails. There was a delay in your video calls. Your image blinked when you didn't. When you coughed, the echo came a beat too late. You tried calling your mom. She answered. She said you had already called her earlier that day, that you'd talked for half an hour. You hadn't. You checked your call log. The record was there. A 32-minute call at 9:04 a.m. while you were asleep. You checked your apartment's hallway camera. Someone had stood outside your door that morning. They didn't knock. They didn't leave. They just stood for 32 minutes. That night, the voice didn't wait for you to enter the bathroom. It came while you were brushing your teeth, behind you, inches from your ear. Hey. Not a scream, not a call for help, just a greeting, casual, familiar, intimate. You didn't turn, you didn't breathe, you didn't blink for 45 full seconds. And then it said, in your own voice, "Don't be afraid, you'll still be in here, somewhere." You don't know when you lost. Was it last week? Yesterday? 5 minutes ago? You look the same, mostly, but mirrors feel thinner now. And your reflection? Sometimes it doesn't copy you anymore. Sometimes it moves first. They say if you hear screaming in the shower, the real test is how long you can ignore it. Because the longer you wait, the longer it needs to rehearse. But the second you react, the second you flinch or look or respond, it knows. It learns. It becomes you. So if you're reading this, if you're still in control, and tonight you hear someone calling you, a loved one, a memory, a version of yourself, do not turn. Let the voice scream until it breaks. Let the water burn. Let your eyes sting from the steam. Because what's behind you isn't trapped. It's patient. And if you ever turn around, you might not remember what it looked like, but it will remember you. And next time, when it calls your name, it won't need your face anymore. It already has it, as